Hey guys, Jamie here at Bax Music, and what could possibly be under here? So, for those of you that don't know, this amp has a very, very vast history. It's been used by lots and lots of bands, and currently is still being used by lots and lots of bands. Came out quite a while ago. I first heard about them in maybe like 2007. A lot of the metal bands that I used to play with were using these or PV5150s. A lot of bands that I like that use them are Metallica, Lamb of God, Monuments. Those kind of bands were really, really high gain metal sound, but they love the versatility of having 3 different channels to switch between. As you can see on here, there's quite a lot of dial knobs that you can go through. Each of its own channels has all its own settings, which is very good because it allows you to be very versatile with both gain and volume and the sound of the actual channel itself. Each channel has the option of pushing that channel. So clean has a pushed clean, which is a bit more of a chunky gain. The low gain channel, the second one, has a raw, vintage and modern, so you can switch between the 3 of those and get kind of ideal sound that you like. And the same again for the high gain channel. It's got vintage, raw and modern, which you will hear later on in the demo. It also has an effects loop that goes through the back that has a lot of dials on as well that you can kind of play around with, and a foot switch that we're using in this video as well that we'll go through also. So there's a whole bunch of tubes in this amp, which you would see if you were looking through the back. There's AL6s, 6L6s and 5U4s that give you that varied range of distortion and clean tones from this amp. So now I'm just going to show you the difference between the channel 2 vintage and the channel 3 on modern distortion. So as you can hear, there was a big difference between those two channels. The vintage sound is less pushed and it's a bit more dry, and the modern sound sounds like there's a lot more pushing it from behind, a lot more mids, and I'd say it's more of a wetter sound, so it sounds a lot more gainy and a lot more distorted. There's also on the Footswitch a solo pedal which will boost the volume a little bit, so what we can do now is just show you how that works in both channels. So the great thing about the dual rectifier also is that it comes with a nice little foot switch, as you can see here. It has the option to switch between each channel, so the clean channel, the overdrive channel and the distortion channel, but also it has the ability to switch between the effects loop and the solo option I mentioned earlier. So if you click on the solo option, it will make a slightly boosted sound, so you don't need to worry about having a tube screamer or anything like that. You can just press this button and it makes it a little bit louder, which is good. And also this option allows you to have the effects loop on and off. So if you've got one of those delay pedals or a chorus pedal or something going through the back of your amp, this will turn it on and off, but it will keep the pedal itself on, but it means it no longer comes out when you use this. Really useful, really easy to press down, and it really feels like when you press the buttons they're actually switching between all the channels. It doesn't feel digital at all. So we've switched the amp head around so you can see all the different dials and switches on the back. Quite a lot of them. There's lots on the front, but now there's even more on the back. There's a lot around here where you can choose how many ohms the speaker cabinet has. We're using it in mono, not stereo, so we've got it in 16 ohms as requested. It's got a tuner input, which is great because sometimes tuners can destroy your tone a little bit when you have them in the pedal board. Here's also where you plug in the foot switch. Do note that without the foot switch you can't actually switch between the channels because there are no little individual switches to do so. It has external switching for more pedal loops, so having all that stuff go through the back sometimes can be easier for your tone. Depends on how you like it, but a lot of the time it's best to put them through the back. And also you can bias select, so you can switch between the 6L6s or EL34s, and then it has something called tube tracking, which again it recommends you use the EL34s for this. You can also change the diode to be on channel 1, channel 2 or channel 3. There's so much you can do with this amp and there's not enough time in the world to figure it all out. So I really enjoy playing with that amp. I really actually love how many different tones and presets and stuff you could put in this. The fact that there's 3 channels and all these different dial knobs is amazing. It's really great to have that versatility and not have to use one kind of channel and just switch it around every so often. You've got all these different channels, and the foot switch is really useful also. Used by lots of my favourite bands, so you can get a really good tone that sounds a lot similar to theirs. And also the solo boost is really good because you don't have to worry about having other pedals that you need to boost when you're on stage. Really, really enjoy it. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Leave a little like if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe because we do new videos every day.